Welcome to the Strait of Death, how 13 ships destroyed a fleet. In 1597, Korean Admiral Yi Sun-sin faced an impossible reality. His national navy was decimated by a Japanese invasion. He had 13 ships. The enemy had over 300. This cinematic shot captures the intimidating scale of the Japanese armada confidently sailing toward the tiny Korean line. But Admiral Yi didn't just survive. He turned the ocean itself into a weapon against a force that outnumbered him 20-1. His master plan centered around one deadly location, the Myeongnyang Strait. The Korean navy was completely broken, with only a dozen ships left. The king ordered Yi to disband his forces and flee to the land, but Yi refused to run. He chose to make his stand at the roaring currents, a deadly strait where the tides shifted with violent, unpredictable force, creating a narrow funnel of water. The Japanese fleet charged into the narrow pass, confident their overwhelming numbers would easily swallow the desperate, tiny Korean resistance. The battle began with a stunning display of courage from the Admiral himself. Yi's own captains were terrified and hung back. The Admiral sailed his lone flagship forward, dropping heavy anchors directly in the middle of the raging current to face the enemy alone. For hours, the single flagship fought like a floating fortress. Their heavy cannons and thick hull design allowed them to withstand the endless close-quarters assault. Seeing their commander refuse to die, the rest of the 12 Korean ships finally found their courage and rowed into the chaotic, smoky fray to support him. Just when the battle was at its peak, the key to Yi's strategy was unleashed, the natural power of the strait. Then, the ocean itself joined the battle. Just as Yi had calculated, the tide violently shifted, turning the calm water into a raging reverse torrent, creating massive, violent whirlpools. The lightweight Japanese ships lost all steering. They were violently slammed into each other and thrown against the jagged rocks by the sudden, shifting current. With the enemy paralyzed and struggling, Yi executed the final, devastating blow. Yi's heavy ships held their ground against the tide and unleashed hell. The tightly packed, paralyzed enemy fleet became an unmissable target for the Korean cannons. The sun set over a strait filled with the burning wreckage of dozens of Japanese ships. Against impossible odds, 31 enemy ships were destroyed, while the 13 Korean vessels stood completely intact. Yi saved his nation without losing a single vessel, demonstrating true mastery of strategy. He proved that knowing the battlefield is more important than the size of your army. True strategy means forcing the forces of nature to fight on your side. Subscribe to master the tactics that shaped history.